Hey, my friends. So I know I'm not the only one that finds themselves occasionally in this day-to-day dread, where every day you're just getting up and wondering, how can I get through another day of this, push through another hour of all the tasks at hand, the things we gotta get done. And I'm gonna share 3 tips, mindset, tricks, tools that have helped me personally, changing dread into some enthusiasm and excitement for my day each day. And number 1, I know this seems kind of dark for some people, but I've done this so many times over the past couple of years, which is really one of the biggest mindset tricks that changes so much dread into a sense of fulfillment and meaning for each day, is asking myself, if I only had 1 year left to live, or maybe I'll say if I had 2 years, 3, 5 years left to live, if I had this much time left to live, how would I act today? What would I do today differently? How would I talk to people? What would matter to me? What wouldn't matter to me? And this isn't taking life so seriously. In fact, when I ask myself if I just had the next year to make the very best of the rest of my life, I find 2 categories of some things I would take a lot more seriously. I would take my time more seriously. But other activities, I would relieve the stress a little bit. I would be able to be more present, have more fun. I urge people to ask yourselves this, because we get so caught up in stressing over things that really don't matter, where there are things that matter so much to us that just get put on the back burner, that we delay, we put off, and that we don't give our time and attention that they deserve. And so I'll do this. I'll ask myself, if I only had this very next year or 3 years to make the very best the rest of my life, what would matter most? What would I want? Not just at the end, but through the journey of the time that I have. And this all brings me to point 2, number 2, which is being more present and doing more of what you love, right? I know we hear this a whole lot, this term, this idea of being more present, being more mindful. And while, it's one thing to practice meditation, I've wondered what that really means to be present, maybe in a social situation. When you're in friends, it's where you are there. You're not in the future, you're not in the past, you're just there. In fact, that's where I find most of anxiety comes from. Anxiousness and dread is either going into the future and maximizing these potential things that might turn out 1,000,000 times more awful than they actually are, or going back in the past and dwelling on things that bother you, that have happened, that you haven't quite let go of. That's so much anxiety for me, is being in the future or in the past from a negative, magnified point of view. But part of what helps me to be more present is just doing more of things I love, spending more time doing things with the people that I love most. People tell me, Tommy, it's easy for you. You have these passions, these things that you're so set on, from art, fitness, these videos, etc. And it's okay if you don't have a specific passion that you feel pulled towards. If you have things that you see that really excites you, that you feel an urge to learn, try those things. Find someone who knows how to do those things. Probably so many times I suggest in these videos, but YouTube tutorials, online trainings, books, anything that you want to learn, just go after it. Just take little steps towards those things. That's probably the biggest key to me in being more present, is just doing things that I love. And that's probably when I find myself most present, is on a work of art, when I'm in that flow state, when I'm in that state that you just lose time, and I'm so focused on a work that time doesn't exist, the future, past, nothing else exists, the whole room around me, the people around me don't exist, and all that I focus is what I'm creating right here on this canvas, on this computer. Take more time for you to do that, to forget the things that are stressing you out, and to do what gives you a sense of fun So much dread builds up if we don't take the time regularly to do what we find fun or enjoyable. But then all this does bring me to number 3, and this is the one that I'm worst at, that makes the biggest difference for me, is when you find yourself in a lot of dread, a lot of day-to-day anxiousness, is because I'm putting things off that I really gotta get done. So number 3 is whatever is making you really anxious, giving you so much dread. Face it dead on. Face that obstacle, that challenge, that schoolwork you're putting off, that email project, whatever thing that you need to get done. Face it dead on. Or another way to put this is doing the thing that scares you most. Doing the things that you fear most at work or in your relationship, or because when you face on the things that you dread, that you put off so long, and you realize it wasn't as bad as you thought, you just needed to sit down and get things done, there's just such a weight that's lifted off of you, and that energy just transfers over into helping you be more present, doing the things that you love. So what are you putting off? What are you dreading? And if you can, bring some excitement, enthusiasm into that. If not, just face it. Don't put it off so long that it just becomes Godzilla taking out the city. And if I had one very last thing to add on, it's this, that realizing a sense of enthusiasm, a sense of peace of mind and heart, that greatest sense of enthusiasm and happiness for your life, it's possible, it's available. It's just one action away. It's just a couple thoughts away. It's inside of your brain. It's a neural connection that's been made before. And that's a motto I really love to live by, knowing that, yeah, not every second of every day is going to be the very best, but every moment is that opportunity to feel the enthusiasm you felt before, to feel even better than you've ever felt before. So, make plans towards these things. Strategize these things. Do what you gotta do and get things done that are stressing you out. And I think so much of this isn't a matter of time management, but more managing your energy, your thoughts, your focus. Give your focus to one thing, and then be present, get that done with all your energy, and then focus that to another thing. Because otherwise, the general operative system of the brain is one of just general slight anxiety towards the future. That's just the brain's operating system of one that's helped keep humans alive for thousands of years in the past. So that's all I have for today, guys. Just want to share this quick message with you. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have other topics you want me to talk about. Stay tuned and stay motivated. Peace.